In a quaint little park, tucked between the evergreens on the edge of Seattle, sat George. His hair was as white as the snow on Mount Rainier, but his eyes were always fixed on the empty bench beside him. For George, Eleanor, or Ellie as he called her, his beloved wife, was always there. "Morning, Elle," George would say every day, placing a coffee from his favorite Starbucks. "Well, where else would you get one here on the small table between them? Got a great today, huh? Knew you'd like it." Passersby, from weekend hikers to hurried tech workers, could only sigh. They knew Ellie had been gone for 3 years, passed on from old age. To them, the bench was empty. But for George, Ellie was right there, smiling softly, as if she'd never left his side. George's kids, David and Sarah, often tried to explain. "Dad, Mom's gone," David would say one afternoon, his voice gentle. George just turned, a deeper frown etching his forehead. "What are you talking about, David? Ellie's right here. Just asked me to pick up some gooey duck for dinner." Sarah could only give her brother a sad look. They'd taken George to doctors, therapists. Everyone said he was physically fine, but his heart just loved Ellie too much for them to comprehend. Every evening, George would tell Ellie about his day. From the news in the Seattle Times, gossip from their apartment neighbors, to stories about the I-5 traffic. Sometimes he'd chuckle to himself, as if Ellie was truly responding. One afternoon, George decided to go somewhere, not to Fred Meyer, but to places filled with broken promises. He walked slowly towards the historic King Street station downtown. The station used to be bustling, but now George didn't care for the city's hustle. Beneath the high, arched ceilings, he stood still, as if waiting for a train that would never arrive. "See, Elle," he said to the air, "this station's still solid. I promised I'd take you on Amtrak to Portland, then down to San Fran. You really wanted to see the Golden Gate Bridge, didn't you? But I always said, later, Elle, later when things at Boeing aren't so busy." Flashes of memory appeared. A younger Ellie, eyes sparkling, holding his hand at the busy station, saying, "I can't wait, Georgie." The regret pierced him. He'd never kept that promise. Flashes of memory appeared. A younger Ellie, eyes sparkling, holding his hand at the busy station, saying, "I can't wait, Georgie." The regret pierced him. He'd never kept that promise. Next, George walked to the old fairgrounds where the circus used to set up, maybe near the Seattle Center. Now it was just new buildings and urban parks. "Remember when the circus came, Elle?" he whispered, his eyes vacant. "You really wanted to see the acrobats and clowns. I promised I'd get you front row tickets. But again, work commitments couldn't be left behind. Man, that just grinds my gears." Suddenly, his vision blurred. He saw a young woman dressed neatly in a fleece jacket and jeans like a Seattle tuxedo, standing alone in the circus ticket line. Her hair was curly and thick, just like young Ellie's. The woman bought one ticket, then walked into the big top alone. The scene hit George hard. Had Ellie ever gone to the circus alone, quietly, because he was too busy to go with her? Back from his heartbreaking trip, George entered his house, which felt so big without Ellie. He opened the drawer in his nightstand. Inside, neatly kept, were Ellie's favorite blue silk scarf, a Mariners baseball cap she often wore to games, and a cookbook full of her handwritten salmon recipes. He held the scarf. Its faint scent reminded him of Ellie. He remembered her wearing it when they first met at a concert on the waterfront. "You said you wanted me to bring you a scarf from my business trip to Europe," he whispered, his voice hoarse. "I promised, but it never happened." When he picked up the Mariner's cap, a photo slipped out. An old photo showing Ellie smiling widely, sitting in an empty train car. Behind her, a scenic rural landscape stretched out, leaves in reds and oranges. It was as if Ellie had indeed gone by herself, enjoying the trip she'd always dreamed of, without him. Then there was another photo. Ellie holding a circus ticket, a faint smile on her face. George's eyes welled up. He had been too busy, too focused on his career, to give Ellie those simple joys. That night, a massive snowstorm hit the city. The wind howled, and snow fell relentlessly. David and Sarah rushed to their father's house, worried. When they arrived, they found George lying on his small park bench inside his home, a peaceful smile on his face. His hand clutched the old photos of Ellie in the train car and the circus ticket. On his face, an immeasurable happiness shone, as if he had finally joined the one person only he and his heart could see. George's park bench was truly empty. No more morning coffee, no more evening stories. But the people of Seattle believed that George and Ellie were finally together again, perhaps on a train car, heading to a beautiful place with the mountains out, or under a circus tent filled with laughter. They had finally kept all their promises in eternal peace.